Are you in love with new to anime? Don't know where to start? I know you're probably worried about, oh, is this anime too long? Will this anime be even good? Will it be boring? Will my friends think I'm watching hentai? Me personally, that shit's kind of weird. Yeah, me personally, bro, that's not for me, man. But you can enjoy whatever you want. You know, I'm not here to judge you. But, you know, let's get back on topic. I know I got a full list of all your wants and needs for anime and everything that you want to watch. I know you want to see people who are throwing hands, people who are boxing, you know. You want to see great animation, insane storytelling, thrilling shows, mystery, all that stuff like that. You come to the right place. This list right here will get you straight to get started into the anime world. Without further ado, let's actually jump into the video. Alright, so boom. What makes a starter anime? Starter anime is an anime that eases viewers into the genre of anime. Oftentimes you find these anime are shorter, typically not one of the biggest mainstream classics like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Bleach, or even Naruto Shippuden. For the most part, when people were watching those shows, they were either one, experienced with other anime, they had other starter anime to kind of ease them into it, like on Toonami Jetstream, or they were just watching it when they were little kids and, you know, happened to just stumble upon it. But for other people who are not, you know, falling into those two categories, they're more used to Western animation, you know, like Danny Phantom, SpongeBob. And if you haven't watched Avatar, The Last Airbender, I'm gonna stop you right here. Go watch that as you're watching the anime on this top 5 starter list, and I'm telling you, those two marry so well together and you get a real feel for the animation world. Absolute peak. But let's get back on topic. The other side of anime that, you know, worries people a little bit when they're getting started is how daunting a lot of anime is to, you know, really get into. A lot of them have, you know, like Bleach, over multiple hundreds of episodes. Naruto Shippuden, multiple hundreds of episodes. One Piece, I think it's bordering on 1,050. It is truly crazy out here. So I can completely understand where people are a little bit worried about, like, yeah, like I'm not 100% sure if I want to jump into this anime when I gotta watch hundreds of episodes and I'm not even sure if it's even gonna be good. I get that. So for this list, we're gonna start off by touching on some honorable mentions that did not make the short list of the 5 best starter anime, but these anime on this honorable mention are still so good, and I implore you all to watch these. So the first honorable mention is an amazing show. Honestly, everything on here is gonna be an amazing show, so don't hold your breath for anything bad to be on these lists. So, Erased. Erased is a very tight, compact, 24 episode series about a 29-year-old man down on his luck. He's delivering pizzas to get by when one day his mother is murdered. He suddenly develops the ability to go back in time and is now tasked with going back in time to prevent the death of his mother. However, it takes a much unexpected turn whenever he goes back in time, and it's super interesting, and I cannot recommend this enough. I feel that sometimes some of the ending to it really doesn't hit as hard as, you know, you would really hope it would, so it unfortunately falls a little bit outside of my top 5 for starter anime. The next honorable mention I want to mention is honestly my top 5 favorite anime of all time, Code Geass. Code Geass is a mech political thriller anime that revolves around a young banished prince and his efforts to keep his sister safe, and also to get revenge on the oppressive regime that banished him and his sister. This anime is truly amazing, and you're probably wondering why it falls a little bit outside of my top 5, and you know, I have to be objective. Even though I think Code Geass is damn near perfect, I think it encapsulates what it means to be a starter anime so well, but I think the other 5 on this list are just doing it much better and are completely perfect as starter anime. So now let's actually jump ahead into this list. Starting off at number 5, Jujutsu Kaisen. A great peak anime. An even better manga. So the thing is with Jujutsu Kaisen is that I know it's a new anime and everything like that, but the thing is this anime falls into a particular niche. It's for anime watchers who want to kind of be really into the thick of things. You know, they want to be the people that are watching week to week, get to follow it on Twitter, Discords, Reddit, and have like a whole fan reaction when like a super crazy animated scene comes out. And this really gets their fix for it because the first season recently just wrapped up, and the second season is actually going to be coming out in the next 3 to 4 months, so it's not too long. This anime is dope. It's about a young boy named Yuji Itadori. Yuji is a very kind and caring young boy. One day he happens to ingest a cursed object of a very powerful cursed spirit. In an effort to rid himself of the cursed spirits, he joined a school for Jujutsu sorcerers so they can help him locate the rest of the objects to rid himself of said cursed spirit. There's so many things that go on in this story, and I cannot recommend this enough. It has great animation, always top tier. The music is great. Them boys be boxing. I'm telling you, these boys be boxing for real. Gojo Sensei, that man throws hands. Yuji throws hands. I'm telling you, these boys be throwing hands in this anime. And not only that, it has a very well balanced and likable cast. All 3 of the main cast that you really follow are all complex and very unique characters. They don't feel like an archetype. They are I can say they're fully fleshed out just yet because we're so into the story, but they're really fleshing out very well. They're so great, and I cannot recommend that enough. Now we're gonna move to number 4. The next anime on this list is arguably one of the greatest of all time. I'm telling y'all, one of the peaks of peaks, and that is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you don't believe me, just go on this website called My Anime List. That website is more of like a repository of people voting on different types of anime, and that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is consistently voted as number 1 on the site. It is just that good, and for that reason, that's why I put it on this list. It's a very tight, I was gonna say it's a very tight run. I'm lying to y'all. It's not a very tight run. It's about 6 to 8 episodes, but don't worry, it's a bit daunting. I get it, but it's fine because the reason why this show was added to the list, it appeals to every new anime watcher, and that appeal is that it's fucking peak. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is peak. So I really want to get y'all early into this great anime, so you really see like, oh, this shit is banging. This shit isn't just like, oh, hanky danky kind of mid cartoons that are like really surface level. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood has some of the most complex, some of the most heartfelt, some of the most thought-provoking messages of any anime. This anime touches on everything: philosophy, morality, mortality, religion, powerful messages of perseverance, the importance of family and loved ones, and it has an amazing supporting cast of people like Roy Mustang, Riza Hawkeye, Scar. Even though this anime is a little older, the animation holds up very well. The fight choreography is off the chain. Once again, them boys be boxing. It's so good. The first couple of episodes are a little slow, but once it kind of gets going, it's amazing. I'm telling y'all, once you finish watching this, you're gonna be tracing the dragon, trying to find another thing that can even match up to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Third on this list is Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 follows a young boy by the name of Mob, who is a very young and powerful Esper. You follow his journey of self-acceptance, growth, as he works in an office for a shady salesman. This anime is a 37 episode anime, so much tighter than the other 2 that we mentioned before. Or technically much tighter than Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but not tighter than, JJK for right now. now. But it will be tighter than it whenever JJK eventually ends. This anime is honestly amazing. It is gorgeous. The animation is truly top of its class. Has some of the best animated fight scenes, period, end of story. And in my opinion, I think what I love so much about Mob Psycho is that since it is, or was, since it's finished right now, it was a seasonal anime, meaning it had 3 full seasons. You get to really see the growth of Mob from a young, shy boy, really not very confident about who he is, to a young man who really grows into himself over time throughout the series. And those seasons perfectly kind of chop up that progression, so you kind of get to see a full episodic and seasonal series of an anime that's completely finished. So you get to see that side of things before you really dive into like these week by week anime that might be a slog for you. But Mob Psycho is so beautiful. Besides the animation, it's such a beautiful personal story. Mob grows so much, the surrounding cast grows so much. You even have a little fucking ectoplasm ball of goo, kind of like fucking Ghostbusters in that show, and he's amazing. Like, he's such a treat that adds so much to the show. And his shady salesman boss, he's also dope. He grows a lot throughout the show, and I honestly could not recommend Mob Psycho 100 any more than I have. And I'm telling you, you watch that, you're gonna be like, where was anime my whole life? Why haven't I been watching it more? And you're gonna be watching more anime. So y'all know I had to recommend a classic on this list. I know before I talked about, classics aren't starter anime, yada yada yada, and I still stand by that, except for one. That is Naruto. Y'all know what Naruto is. Your mom knows what Naruto is. Your grandma might even know what Naruto is. Naruto is incredibly popular. And the reason why I actually included Naruto on this list is because it normally doesn't fit into the niche of other, starter anime. Naruto is a bit different because most people have heard of Naruto. And for people who have not watched it, they're missing out on so many great pop culture moments that Naruto pretty much founded. So the reason why I want to throw this one on here as an intro to the classics is because it's shorter than most of the classics. It's a little bit lighter than most of the classics. And that kind of goes in regards to 1, in terms of length, 2, in terms of filler. Filler, for people who are unfamiliar with the term filler, filler is pretty much a point in the anime where the manga hasn't or does not exist. So oftentimes filler is completely irrelevant to the story, and it might feel like a slog or a drag to get through, and for the most part a lot of it really is a slog or a drag to get through. So for Naruto to not have too much filler and to allow you to kind of get into a true classic anime, there's no way I couldn't recommend it. You get to see truly some groundbreaking, iconic, all-time fights. Get to meet some of the all-time classic characters: Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi. Bruh, people who don't even watch anime, know who these people are. If I walked into my mom, like, Mom, do you know who Naruto is? She'd be like, yeah, I know who Naruto is. It's crazy. If I walked up to my girlfriend right now and I said, do you know who Naruto is? She's like, yeah, I do. You know who Sasuke is? Like, yeah, I do. You know who Sakura is? She'd be like, yeah, I do. She's never watched Naruto before in her entire life. So this is one I have to recommend. I know it's a classic. I know it's a bit longer, but it's almost like you got to do your due diligence. You got to do your homework to really feel fully into the Naruto into the anime universe. And finally, number 1 on this top 5 starter anime. Before we talk about number 1, let's recap the whole list, starting with the honorable mentions. We had the honorable mentions of Erased, Code Geass. And then at number 5 on the list, we had Jujutsu Kaisen. Number 4, we had Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Number 3, we had Mob Psycho 100. Number 2, we had Naruto. Finally, we come to the conclusion of this list. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to sub, do whatever you like, because there's more anime content that's gonna be coming. So you definitely want to be here for that. Number 1 for the top 5 starter anime is Death Note. In my opinion, Death Note is far and away the best starter anime, and it's really not even close. You can recommend this to your mom, to your dad, to your sister, to your grandma, to your auntie. You can recommend this to anyone. I'm telling you, like, it's so good, and it's such a tight anime. It's only 37 episodes. It is pretty crazy how 37 episodes can really encapsulate everything. It is wild. So let's actually run it back a little bit and tell you what Death Note is actually about. Death Note is an anime about a young man who happens to one day, he's walking outside, comes across a notebook, which if a name is written in it, the person whose name is written in the notebook will die. This young man takes the notebook and pledges to rid the world of evil. It is incredibly compelling. It is a amazing action thriller. It is amazing psychological thriller. It is off the chain. It is incredible. And in my opinion, I think the reason why Death Note works so well as a starter anime is because it really feels like a lot of Western media, like Law and Order SVU, you know, Criminal Minds, various different things like that that people love. They love those case by case stories. And this kind of emulates that to a little degree and magnifies that by 10 because it's an anime. And not only that, you're kind of more or less following the antagonist of the story in Light. It is so good. This is the number one, hands down. Whatever you say, you can cry to the roof, whatever you want to do. This is the best starter anime. No debate. End it, put a period, put a dot, stamp it, print it, mail it, put it in newspaper, do whatever you want. This is the number one. So that actually concludes my list of the top 5 starter anime. It's important to note when you're looking into getting into anime or looking to get someone else into anime is that keep an open mind. You can honestly, it's pretty crazy to say this, but you can in true honesty find anything that you want to watch as an anime. Any genre, I promise you. If you want to find a show kind of like Law and Order SVU, you can find it. If you want to kind of show that reminds you of Criminal Minds, you can find that. If you want to find a show that reminds you of Master Chef, you can find that too. If you want to find a show that is like Last Chance U, there's another one, you can find it there too. There are so many amazing genres of anime. I'm telling you, once you kind of get started, you probably won't be able to stop. Anime will just become a part of your life. Then maybe one day you might ever transition to watching anime movies like Studio Ghibli. I'm gonna make a whole nother list on that. Maybe one day you're gonna start reading manga. Now that is a whole nother video on itself. But thank you so much for watching. Finally come to the end. Take care. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.